But it's 2020, so I guess nothing surprises me anymore.
An abrupt awakening leaves people stunned.
Others chalking it up to another unusual occurrence this year.
Scientists here in Southern California are keeping their eye on Imperial County tonight after a series of earthquakes started this morning. They happened just south of the Salton Sea.
Seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones taking to Twitter saying, quote, "We're having a Salton Sea swarm. It is the fourth time since 2001.
The largest quake on Monday was a magnitude 4.6, according to the USGS. It's only the fourth time in the 88 years of modern records that such a swarm has occurred in that region.
The first one started about 6:33 this morning. Since then, throughout all of today, there have been 25 earthquakes.
One as big as a 4.6.
It was a tiny little pulling apart. Here's the international border. So here's the Salton Sea, and you see these two red areas? Those are areas of the plate tectonic sense where the earth is pulling apart.
But could it trigger something bigger? Last year on the 4th of July, the town of Ridgecrest, north of Los Angeles, was hit with a 6.4. Less than 36 hours later, a 7.1. Abbott says he hopes that's not the case this time around, especially because of where these smaller earthquakes are happening.
Right here, right near the tip of this red, underneath the sea, and here's the San Andreas Fault coming down right here, and that's where the San Andreas quits.
The San Andreas fault line split into 3 geographical areas. The section up north had its last major earthquake in 1906. This section in the middle, 1857. The one in SoCal hasn't seen a major earthquake since 1690.
Big earthquakes on this section of the fault rupture on average every 250 years. Now, it hasn't ruptured since 1690, 330 years ago.
I was like shocked, unbelief that this would never happen in North Carolina.
But it's 2020, so I guess nothing surprises me anymore.
Breaking right now at noon, and this is just a marine mystery. Thousands of dead fish are found in the bay.
This is happening off the coast of Miami.
In the search for what's causing a smelly situation in Biscayne Bay, thousands of dead fish washing up for miles. The problem is so bad, there's a warning tonight to stay out of the water.
So why are all of the fish dying, and how much longer will this go on?
As thousands of dead fish appeared floating throughout the water for miles, and many still remain.
It's crazy. It's like, I've never seen anything like this before.
It was an unusual sight Tuesday morning along the shoreline of the Margaret Pace Park.
Looks like a cemetery for fish.
Hundreds of dead fish are floating in Biscayne Bay, and people in the area are not enjoying the sight.
But she was not expecting to see this.
And all of a sudden we were looking around us and we realized that we were in a sea of dead fish. Of all different types of fish and all different sizes. We just started like literally picking up fish and pushing fish away from us, and we're like, oh my goodness, that something is wrong. So we cut our swim short.
Hundreds of dead fish of every shape, size, and species. And the fish and the seagrass are literally suffocating to death. And again, environmentalists say they've been sounding the alarm bell for years to deaf ears.
Indonesia's Mount Sinabang erupted again today, launching a huge column of ash 5 kilometers into the sky. This is the second eruption since Saturday, and officials are warning about the threat of lava. The once dormant volcano has been active since 2010.
Storm Thalia battered Greece's eastern coastline over the weekend, causing 2 rivers on the island of Evia to burst their banks. Surrounding homes were flooded, roads filled with mud.
Dark clouds over Yemen's old city of Sana'a, where ancient homes lie in ruins. Parts of UNESCO World Heritage Site has been damaged by months of heavy rain and floods. The roofs of more than 100 homes have partially collapsed. While people in the capital struggle to save their heritage, homeless Yemenis in the port city of Hodeidah are fighting for survival. Rising floodwaters washed away their makeshift shelters. The war between the Houthis and Saudi-backed government forces is into its 6th year. The fighting has caused the world's worst humanitarian crisis.
We call on all the organizations to save us. May God save us from this hell.
Some families are still trying to salvage what they can from their homes. More than 1,500 people have been displaced in Goza Wadallah. Dozens of areas in Sudan have been affected by flooding. Having lost so much already, people here say they're concerned about the coming few months because this is just the start of the rainy season.
We want more tents and blankets because the rains keep coming.
Wind so strong, some saying they saw a possible tornado. This video showing what may have been a twister shredding a roof in Chicago.
It was crazy. It was madness. It was really dark.
Several Wheaton residents came by this area shocked over the sight of the aftermath of the storm damage. I wanted to show you here. Take a look. This is College Church in Wheaton. The high winds knocked over the steeple, and church officials say also left a hole in the roof. And in Wheaton, many neighbors in disbelief over the sight of the College Church steeple slumped over the roof.
It's such a landmark in the town, so it's kind of devastating for the town, like, to see this happening.
Pastor Josh Moody reassuring his congregation tonight.
The church is not the building. The church is about Christ. The church is people.
Well, just days after Hurricane Isaias hammered coastal North Carolina, the state is hit with one of the largest earthquakes in history.
But people as far as south as Thompson, Georgia, and even Lake Harding in Alabama said they felt it too.
It was like a slow rumble, like a wave of rumbles coming. You could hear it from a distance before it hit.
It jolted people out of bed, put cracks in buildings, even knocked things off of store shelves.
North Carolina jolted by its strongest earthquake today in about 100 years.
The quake caught on camera at his family's salon until it was knocked off the shelf. Here at this Food Lion, food littered the aisles.
Well, there is damage all over Sparta, from water main breaks to cracked roads and even more.
The impact felt as far away as Georgia, Northern Virginia, and Tennessee. While many were shocked to be hit with the state's largest earthquake since 1916, surprising folks, many who were sleeping when it happened at 8:07 Sunday morning.
Yeah, that was our cabin. Our neighbor Ashley sent that in just up the street from us. That was this morning at 8:07, and it woke us up. We were in bed. I said to my husband right away, "Oh my gosh, it's an earthquake." There was no mistaking it.
Well, Allegheny County is still being rattled by earthquakes. The biggest, of course, yesterday, a 5.1 centered in Sparta. The U.S. Geological Survey says there have been 14 tremors since then, 3 as early as this morning. They were southeast of Sparta, as you can see on this map.
In a matter of seconds, a historic earthquake felt across the eastern half of the country struck this small town.
Upset and confused. We've never been through anything like this.